Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So today is a Q&A video, slightly different video to what we normally do. So I'm here today with one of my mentees, Jack. Jack's got his own channel, which is Jack Smith Property. If you want to check it out, we'll also put a link below. So previously we recorded a questions and answer session on Jack's channel, but we ran out of time. We expected it to only last 10-15 minutes, it ended up being 40 minutes long. So what we thought is we'll do two Q&As. This is the second of a two-part Q&A. So Jack's basically going to ask me questions from his viewers, and then I'm going to answer them to the best of my knowledge. And if this is a popular format that you all like, then we'll certainly make more Q&As because there's plenty of questions that we can go through. Okay, so let's get started. So Jack, what's the first question?
So the first question is, should I keep my first renovation job simple, swapping old for new, or going all out? I'm assuming when they say swapping old for new, they just mean old kitchen out, new kitchen in, old bathroom out, new bathroom in, that kind of thing? Or do they do the whole thing, back to brick type job?
I would say keep it simple for your first one. Try and do as minimum as you can. Try and do the least amount of work, the least amount of things that you need to do. Okay, so yeah, swap out the kitchen, swap out the bathroom, give it a coat of paint. Okay, the reason I say that is because you'll learn a lot in that first one, and you will make mistakes. There's no doubt about it. And if you don't make mistakes, the builder will make mistakes, which will cost you money. There's no doubt about that either. So do some smaller ones, do the least amount of work, just so you can get a feel for how the builders work, you can get a feel for how much things cost. You always think it's going to cost, you know, if it's going to cost £1,000, it's going to cost you £1,500, okay? So there's always things going to come out the woodwork that you didn't anticipate. So you'll learn all of that. You'll learn about time scales. You'll learn about deliveries not turning up on time. You'll learn about things being out of stock at B&Q or wherever you're buying from. So on your first one, yes, I would say keep it simple. Learn from it. Even if you don't make that much, it's better to not make much than to lose a lot, okay? If you go all in on a big 30 grand refurb, and you lose 10 grand, well, you've just lost 10 grand, yeah? If you have a smaller one and you don't make as much, at least you learned from it and you didn't make any big losses.
Yeah, great. Next question is, what is a bridging loan used for? The deposit, the refurb, buying the house outright?
Okay, so every lender is again different. What you find is with bridging lenders, they are normally a pool of investors that have got together to form a bridging company, or you'll find that they're kind of wealthy families or individuals that have kind of put bridging together. Yes, there are mainstream bridging lenders, but typically the money is a lot more what we call private, okay? So everyone is different. They've all got a different appetite to risk. You can get some bridging lenders that will just lend you on the property value at say 70%, and then it's up to you to provide the refurb. There are other bridging lenders where you can get the 70% of the 70% of the purchase price, and you'll also get 70% of the refurb costs. So if we use some round figures, if you've got a property for 100, they'll lend you 70. If you need to spend 20 on it, they'll lend you 14. So altogether you get 84,000 as an advance, okay? It all depends. There's no hard and fast rules. What I would say is talk to your bridging lender and try and negotiate with them. Because they're not big banks, they are open to negotiation. So you can always say, you know, even if they won't lend you 70% of the refurb, they may say, look, we'll give you 25% of the refurb. Anything's better than nothing.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I would advise.
Yeah, great. Next question is, do you think it's better to flip or buy to let?
So is it better to flip or buy to let? That all depends really on your strategy. What is it? I think we had this question recently actually. So what are your plans? What's your strategy? Yeah. Do you want to be in it for monthly cash flow? Is it for equity, increase in equity towards a pension? Is it for lump sums of cash here and, you know, in the immediate future? Depends what your strategy is. Okay, so I would say, you know, you think carefully about your strategy, because if you've only got one set of money, one pot of money available, you need to make sure it's working exactly how you want it to work. So have a think about your strategy and decide whether it's going to be buy to let, which effectively buy to let, you're going to get a small amount of cash flow, but you'll get long-term growth. If you do flips, you're going to get obviously zero growth, but you're going to get profit from the value that you're going to add on, and you could get that within the next 3 months.
Yeah, bro. Next question is, It's quite a broad question, so answer this however you feel is necessary. How do you know the difference between a good deal and a mistake? A good deal and a bad deal?
Okay, so it is quite a broad question. So for me, a good deal.
In fact, just before you answer, I've just looked at the next question. It kind of might link in a bit better. What is the minimum profit that you would go for on a specific flip, i.e. 15, 25k, whatever it might be? Like, what makes it, okay, this is a good deal now, as opposed to it kind of just links the two questions together,
sure.
I think.
Okay. So a good deal for me is where I can buy below value, but there's still some value I can add. So I'll give you an example. If we've got a house for 100,000 and it's in first class condition, if I buy that for 70,000, I can't make it any better than first class, so it's still going to be worth 100. But if I buy a house that's worth 100 as it is, but it's in a poor condition, so actually after I've added value to it, it might be worth 130. But if I'm still buying that for 70, well then I've got £60,000 in it, yeah. So to me, I like to have my cake and eat it. I like to have a discount on the purchase price, but I also like to buy properties that need value adding to them. Yeah. So, and again, I'll repeat it again. The profit is in the buying. So make sure that whatever deal you're looking at, that you know at the beginning that you're going to make money, even if the property market drops. Okay, so the profit is in the buying. Personally, for me, I won't buy anything for less than 30%. So 30% is a minimum. Okay, whether that be a first class or we need to add value to it. Yeah, but I would tend to steer away from the first class deals, as I would call them, because I can't add any value. But either way, if somebody came to me today and said, "Look, I've got a house for sale, nothing wrong with it. Do you want it?" and it was 30% off, and I could rent it out, and it was in a decent area, I'd probably go for it. But ideally, my pick would be 30% off. Plus I can add that value on the top.
So it's 30% off the current value, not 30% off of what the potential value could be. Yeah,
30% off the current value, not what the potential could be.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Again, this is where it's, as Jack said, it's slightly strange. Well, not strange, but it's a difficult question to answer, because let's suppose somebody comes to me with a property that's worth 100 now, but it's in a real state of disrepair, and it could be worth 150.
Yeah.
Well, then I might be inclined actually to buy it for 20% below.
Yeah.
Because I know that I've got 20 grand below and I've got 50 uplift.
Yeah.
That's 70,000. Yeah. So again, you've just got to look at it. What's the below value and what's the uplift? What's the value you can add? And basically, the higher that margin, then the better the deal.
Yeah. Well, as example, I'm buying a house at the minute where the current value is probably 115,000, and I'm buying it for 95. So that's what, 20%, around 20% below. It's not 30%, but because the end value I know is going to be about 160, I thought it's worth taking less of a BMV deal than and getting the significant amount of uplift. Next question is, how much money do you have to save when you're looking to flip a house? So how much money do you need to start off with, basically?
Okay. So it depends what your area is. Okay, so I would say that if you're down south, then you're going to need, large amounts of cash to not only for the deposit but for the refurb. But if you're kind of Midlands or North, what I would say is try and get some properties around the 100 mark. So then that means you're going to need 25% for your deposit plus your refurb costs. So if you do a light refurb and it's like 15,000, you're going to need about £40,000. So you can either get that through friends and family, you could do joint ventures, you could take out a loan, a separate loan, like a personal loan, £25,000 personal loan, for example, that you could then put towards your mortgage, or your partner or your friend could take out the loan. There's lots of ways you can get the money, and I always say don't be scared about borrowing money as long as it's good debt, good money. I wouldn't encourage you to go and get a 50 grand loan and buy a Ferrari, but I'd encourage you to go and get a 50 grand loan and buy a property that's going to make you 50 grand. So I always say there's good debt and there's bad debt. Getting into debt, as long as you've got your figures right, your numbers right, and the deal's there, then you'll be paying the debt back in 3 months' time, and you'll have your profit.
Be richer because of it. Next question is, probably like this could be a separate series of videos in itself. So just high level stuff. How do you plan the order of works that you need to keep to a timescale on a flip, on the refurb?
Okay, so yeah, I mean that is I think really for that one, it's probably worthwhile doing a separate video for it. Okay. All I would just say is just to try and give you something to go away with. The builder should know what needs doing in what order. So what I would do is, if you're new to this and you haven't watched another video that we'll do explaining this in more detail, because it could take 20 minutes, ask the builder to give you a schedule of works, and he should itemize it in chronological order as to what needs to be done first, and it will be up to him to get it right, because he knows what order things need to come in. And then after that, you can kind of look at it, you could tweak it, you might be able to question him on some stuff, but as a starter, ask the builder and get him to do that for you.
Yeah, okay, great. Next question is, starting in property next year, second job to boost income, or use that time to invest in the property business?
Okay, I guess the question is, do you need to boost your income? So I don't know what you need the income for. So if you've got your first job and you said there's a second job, I don't know why you need to boost the income. If it's because you need to meet your bills, then yeah, take the second job. So I don't know your situation, and that's always a difficulty giving kind of, my advice on that kind of stuff. But all I would say is that if you've got enough on your first job and you're going to be spending time on the property, get the property done. The quicker you can get it done, the quicker you can get that lump sum of cash, particularly as you said, it's a flip. Get that cash out, and then if you think about it, if you do that property quickly, that first set of cash is probably 4 or 5 years of your part-time job.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing if it's a part-time job, it won't be that much money. So the quicker you can get that done, actually, the quicker you don't have to have a second job.
Yeah. Okay, so next question is quite a quick one. How do you fund your projects? Do you buy cash? Do you use loans, etc.?
Personally, we're in the fortunate situation because we've done so many deals over the last 20 years. We have our own cash, so all of our deals are funded by cash. That's not to say we keep them on cash, because obviously we've only got a finite amount of money, and we've got lots of things going on. So what we do is we recycle the cash. So we'll always buy with cash and pay for the repairs and the refurb, but then we'll remortgage. So our exit will either be we either sell it, we remortgage and add it to the portfolio, and then we get an income. And if it's new build, then we always sell them anyway. So then we just, but you're always in a far better position if you can get to the stage where you've got a pot of cash that you can buy things with quicker and then refinance or sell at the end.
Yeah, great. Next question is, I'll answer this one as well. I want to get into property flipping after my A-levels. What should I do? This is something that I started doing a couple of years ago, and I wish I'd started doing it when I was back in A-levels, but I just wasn't aware of investing in property. But get educated, like seriously, being educated by Nick, getting around people that know about property, that know what they're doing. What you need to do is you need to identify people either in your circle or go out and find other people in other circles of people who you want to aspire to be like, or you want to be where they are in a few years. Go and be around them, spend time with them. Your network is your net worth, and get yourself educated. That's what I'd say. Is there anything else you'd
no, absolutely. I mean, people say to me, well, why do you tell people, or why do you mentor people, and surely they can just go and Google it. Yeah, look, there's nothing I don't know that's not on the internet. Okay, but the things that aren't on the internet are the mistakes that are made, and the problems that happened. Okay, so I guess you could call that wisdom. So after 20 years, even after 10, 15, 20, I'm not saying I've only just got it, but I've got 20 years worth of wisdom, and so if I can pass that on to Jack and help him not make the same mistakes, or actually look out for that, or don't do that, then that's invaluable. So I would say, get educated, find like-minded people, mix with like-minded people, and by all means, take courses online and read things online. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying that they only tell you the things that should go right. They don't tell you what can go wrong. And I think that you're never going to make mistakes you're never going to lose money by doing the right thing. You're going to lose money by doing the wrong thing. So get educated, and and also accelerate your journey. it's accelerated your journey by leaps and bounds, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like where I am now to last year, it's just completely different, and it's because I've just committed myself to getting educated and being around you, being around other people that are in property, that are like-minded. Also, it's interesting you say that, because on the flip that I've just done, there was an incident where, and it's exactly what you're talking about, things can go wrong and you might not always be prepared for it. So an example is that I knew that I needed to get a builder in or somebody in to fit the bathroom. In the process of it being fitted, or in fact being ripped out, there was actually a leak that ended up coming through onto the ceiling that had just been plastered and painted. And I was like, I couldn't find the leak. I contacted you and said, I was on the phone FaceTiming Nick saying, look, I'm showing you around, I just couldn't find where it actually was, but you were able to come around with me and show me what was wrong, and were able to get that fixed. And it's exactly what you're saying. It's being able to identify mistakes by getting educated and spending time learning these things and being around people that have the solution to your problems.
Yeah.
Okay, and the last question is, at what age did you start in real estate and how did you do it?
Okay, so I've got to think how old I was. So it was March 2000, so I was 29 when I got involved in real estate. So I looked in the Sunday Times rich list and I saw that everybody made, the wealthiest people made the money in property. So I decided to kind of model them and copy them, if you like. So I got started at the age of 29. And what was the next part of the question? Oh, how did I get started? So I had a job already. Actually, I had a job and I had a couple of businesses already that gave me an income. So I saved up a chunk of money that I wanted to allocate to the property business, and then I started buying houses. And I bought my first one, I'd say March 2000, and then just kind of carried on from there, never looked back since. Unfortunately, guys, that's all we've got time for on this video. So as I say, this is the second part of a two-part Q&A. First part is on Jack's channel. You'll find the links below. So all that remains for me to say, guys, if you've enjoyed this, give us a bit of feedback. Let us know what you think at the bottom. And also ask if you could subscribe to the channel. It really helps because it gives us feedback so that we know that you like this kind of stuff. It also lets you guys know when we release new videos. So subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well so you'll get notified when a new video comes out. And that's all from me, and I'll see you next time.
Cheers. See ya.